You ever meet someone who says they love you, but somehow they still can't stay loyal? At first, everything feels real. The attention, the connection, the way they look at you like you're the only person that matters. But then slowly, something changes. You start noticing small things, inconsistency, distance, secrets that don't quite make sense. And before you even realize it, you're left asking one question: why is one person never enough? Psychology suggests that people who struggle with loyalty are not always driven by a lack of love. In many cases, it's driven by something much deeper happening inside them. For some people, loyalty feels like pressure. Being committed to one person means emotional responsibility. It means showing up consistently. It means being seen fully. And for someone who has never felt stable emotional security, that can feel overwhelming. Instead of leaning into one connection, they pull away and look for comfort elsewhere. Another reason is the constant need for validation. Some people rely heavily on external attention to feel good about themselves. One partner might love them, but over time, that love becomes familiar. It doesn't give the same excitement as something new. So they start seeking attention from others, not always because they want a new relationship, but because they want to feel desired again. That feeling becomes addictive. There's also the role of impulse control. Some individuals act based on immediate emotions rather than long-term consequences. In the moment, the excitement of a new connection feels stronger than the idea of loyalty. They don't always think about the damage it can cause. They focus on what feels good right now. And by the time reality catches up, the damage is already done. For others, it's about emotional emptiness. They may feel like something is always missing inside them. Even in a stable relationship, that feeling doesn't go away. So they try to fill that emptiness by connecting with different people. Each new interaction gives a temporary sense of fulfillment, but it never lasts. So the cycle continues. Then there's fear of commitment, but not in the obvious way. It's not always about avoiding relationships. Some people enter relationships easily, but struggle to stay emotionally invested. Real commitment requires consistency, vulnerability, and patience. And for someone who fears losing control or getting hurt, staying loyal can feel risky. So they keep one foot out the door, just in case. Another layer is how they view relationships. Some people grow up seeing unstable or unhealthy dynamics. They may have witnessed betrayal, dishonesty, or lack of boundaries. Over time, that becomes their normal. So when they enter their own relationships, they repeat the same patterns without fully realizing it. Loyalty was never something they learned deeply, and sometimes it's not about the other person at all. It's about identity. Some individuals associate their self-worth with being desired by multiple people. It gives them a sense of power, a sense of control. Being wanted by one person feels good, but being wanted by many feels even stronger to them. It becomes part of how they see themselves. But here's the part people don't talk about enough. This pattern doesn't just hurt others, it also keeps the person stuck. Because while they chase new connections, they miss out on something deeper. Real connection. Real trust, the kind of bond that only builds over time. Loyalty is not just about staying with one person, it's about emotional presence. It's about choosing the same person even when things are no longer exciting, even when the relationship becomes calm instead of intense. And for someone who constantly seeks new stimulation, that kind of stability can feel uncomfortable. You might think people who can't stay loyal simply don't care. But in many cases, they do care. They just don't know how to stay, or they don't understand what's driving their behavior. And until they become aware of it, the pattern repeats. If you've experienced this from someone, it's easy to take it personally, to feel like you were not enough. But often it has very little to do with you. It's more about what's happening inside them than what you did or didn't do. And if you see yourself in this pattern, the question isn't just why you can't stay loyal. It's what are you really looking For that you haven't found yet. Because at some point the excitement fades, the options run out, and what remains is the ability to build something real. So maybe loyalty is not about limiting yourself to one person. Maybe it's about finally learning how to stay when things stop feeling new. If this made you think of someone, or even made you reflect on your own patterns, say it honestly in the comments. Do you think loyalty is a choice, or is it something shaped by psychology?